It wasn't one there.
No.
After a while.
I know.
A lot of people will still have the appeal. The windows and the other steel. For the dust.
Well, it's funny because,
Well,
Kelly,
and then
we
sometimes
already
that's
Kelly
dust,
had
sometimes it's what's doing
I
all
think
the dust.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, and I'm not gonna bring that up to my wife, I don't like that seat at all. No, there's nothing.
Sure. They bought a big building, they're all excited, it's on Facebook. This is fun.
It is 6 o'clock. June the 2023. Call to order the meeting of the Board of Trustees, Garden City Community College. Let's just start with comments from the chair. That's one comment that I have here. Garden City Community College night, the Garden City Win game is happening on Thursday, June 22nd. Invite you to come out and support Garden City Win baseball team. They play against the Blackwell Flycatcher. Well, that's fun. Game is 6:35 p.m. Clint Whiteman Field. I have one other comment that I'd like to make. The campus is certainly looking good with all of this rain. I noticed that I driving in this evening, that green and then getting on it with the mowing, so that's good too. So, little report from SGA, we have that tonight. No report.
They don't want to come in the middle of.
No. Here's the ask.
Well, let's get an introduction and then close.
It's working.
I have, you don't have to get me in the picture, it's fine. I have with me tonight Dr. Corey Chrisline. Corey started on January 9th, started for the spring semester. Had some conflicts on board meeting nights. He's our new full-time chemistry instructor, received his bachelor's degree in chemistry from Pitt State. After that, he attended University of Michigan and received his Master of Science and PhD in chemistry. Prior to moving to Garden City, he worked for Russell Stover's Chocolates, so he worked in industry with his academic knowledge. At Russell Stover's, he developed training programs for molding operators, as well as training in other areas regarding safety, quality, standard production practices, and lean manufacturing. He also worked in scheduling, accounting, and light analytics. Again, Corey's official start date was January 9th, 2023, and we're very, very happy that he was joining us. His brother, Seth, is an English major in teaching.
Teaching here?
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
That's how I found out about the job.
I am so glad. So are there any Russell Stover perks that have followed you here?
I don't think so. I think I left employment, all those perks probably left behind.
Really could have bumped you up on the favorites list on campus, I'm sure.
This isn't bordering nepotism. Never mind.
To hire,
Her brother.
oh, no. We think it's likely he may stay with us. We consider it an added benefit.
Nice to have you.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Any other new employees?
That's it.
How about we go on into the report of faculty senate? We have that. We don't have one of those. We're gonna get out of here.
Move along.
And we need to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board recess into executive session to discuss confidential employee information pursuant to the open meetings exception for personnel matters of non-elected personnel, which if discussed in open meeting might violate the right to privacy, and that our President Ryan Ruda, Vice President Mark Malone, and Vice President Carla Armstrong be included. The open meeting will resume here in the endowment room in 15 minutes, and it is.
Motion made, do I hear a second? Second. Motion made, second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're back in regular session. There was no action taken. Anything else I need to say about that? If not, we'll go into the consent agenda. We need to set out item B2 or any other items that anyone would like to set out before we vote on it. I assume everyone has read the minutes, and there's no additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes, so we'll include that. Any other items? On the consent agenda?
I'll make motion to approve the consent agenda minus B2.
Second. Motion made in second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carried. Now we'll discuss the item B2.
Yeah, so after the board packet was posted, it was realized that on page 21 of the packet, the pay designated for Shelley Meyer Foundation for Education state that she's being paid for 3 credit hours at 700 per credit hour. This is not equal to 2,400. Correct, that minus 2,100. And then on page 24, Ellen Weeks, her English 1 and creative writing per hourly rate should be 800 credit hour, not 700 for both classes. Which is going to be a total of 2,400 for that. So those two changes were what we need to correct.
And that's all in this package.
Yes, we highlighted in there in the packet that it's.
So we need a motion to approve that with the changes.
I make a motion that we approve B2 as amended.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Now we'll go on to confirmation of monitoring reports. Page 44. Anybody have any questions or anything to add to the policy that's students desiring academic achievement will be prepared for successful transfer to other colleges and universities? Got any suggestions or anything they don't like in the board to set forward?
I think they're very straightforward. I guess because I've worked on the staff my career, going to the community college, and everything we put in it is. I have no problem with it.
I think the interpretation and supporting data is behind. Corresponding data as well.
Agree with that. We've been over this lots of times. Usually when there's a change, it's not one word over another word. It's not really changing anything.
so I have some, I always have stuff.
Go ahead.
That's why you're.
Okay, so the first thing I think to note is that there's 116 courses that are transferable for Kansas Core Outcomes Group, which is the group that is looking at making curriculums universal so that they are transferable. Okay. Garden City Community College has 96 of those 116 courses And that's an increase of 5 from 1 year ago. Yay. That's nice to hear. Okay. And then the second thing is that the articulation agreements with the other universities, that we have an articulation agreement with Pittsburgh State for 14 programs. That's huge. Yet, we really don't have very many students that go there. Do you have any reason why that might be?
I think a lot of it comes down to the distance.
Probably.
It's a very favorable transfer institution, specifically on the technical side. So some of our automotive students preparing for their level, a lot of it comes down to the distance.
I would add that I don't know that the state, unless it's changed, has, you can take unlimited number of credit hours for the same price. So I think, not that it's our responsibility to market that, but I think that perhaps if that was better marketed, that it would be, because for a, you know, for a driven student, that really can reduce the cost.
And then any talk about my love nursing or articulation?
So we have some RN to BSN agreements that are in place. Currently. We have that for days. 14, I think we solidified that with Newman.
Not with Newman, no. And Fort Hayes has moved away from the concept of articulation, and they now have transfer guides that they keep updated. So, Dr. Douglas, if you're looking, were you looking on the articulation database on the website for nursing?
Yes.
And it was not there. Correct. And that's, we can look into that more. Certainly with Fort Hayes, what was the other institution? Newman is coming. KU is also coming for a Bachelor of Health Services through their ICCAE. It's a grant through the Office of the Director of the National Intelligence to prepare what's coming in some ways.
I would just tell you from experiences with my colleagues, they find it, I think it's very easy to go on and get their bachelor's degree at Newman or Fort Hayes. Those are the two that I'm familiar with my colleagues. So I was just curious for that. The other thing that you talked about in the explanation was the opportunity, under opportunities for advanced degrees, the statewide general education framework to enhance transferability to any Kansas institution. That sounds amazing. I don't know if you could explain a little more about that and what that's, where you see that heading to, or
Yeah, I'll let Mark explain this. One thing that I would continue to monitor this week, August in-service. The portion of what our August in-service is going to be spent on there is so Daniel Archer, who serves as the Vice President for Academic Affairs at Kmart, because there are several different projects that are in play right now in the state. The Common Core, the Common General Ed Core that you mentioned is one of those. Math Pathways is another state-based program that is in the implementation stage right now. And then also prerequisites for English and math. So I would encourage you just to come out and want to be updated. We'll provide you updates as there are updates from the state. Mark, kind of talk through what the Common General Ed Core and pathways looks like.
One of the issues that continues to be an issue in the state is community college students transferring to four-year universities, and even with those 106 guaranteed transfer courses, universities may count those in a different way. They may count toward general education for the university, but an individual college inside of the university might say, well, we understand that the university takes that intro to business, but to be in the business school at KU, you have to take our version of intro to business. So those stumbling blocks have, and sort of nationwide pressure about transferability, have driven the Board of Regents to adopt the statewide gen ed framework. And we had a representative, Nicole Vick, who sat on that working group. What it means is that the general education will be aligned at every public institution across the state. So the general education framework will be the same at KU, at K-State, at Fort Hays, at Garden City Community College. And I can't tell you the number of credits, but it's divided into 7 buckets. The 7th bucket, we have a group that's been working on this for probably 6 months, the core curriculum group. The 7th bucket will focus on the 2 essential skills that have been hard for faculty to nail down, diversity and thank you, social responsibility. As soon as I needed to say it, it flew out of my mind. But the great thing, and the reason that I put that in bold, is that once a student completes that statewide general education framework at an institution, so Gardner, for example, the registrar's office will stamp their transcript that the statewide gen ed package has been completed. And once that stamp is on that transcript, it cannot be unbundled by any other institution. So we couldn't unbundle Dodge Cities if we wanted to. KU can't unbundle ours. So once they've completed that gen ed package, it stays with them and it is completed. And they are not allowed to, the universities or us, we're not allowed to create extra requirements for students who did not start with us. So it really is a game changer. And that means that I probably expect to see this in some of our marketing materials in the future, whether you we're looking for community college experience, you're looking to start small, any of the reasons students might start here, financially, for everybody, it becomes the best decision because the general education they will receive here will be literally the same as at Fort Hays or K-State. So that becomes a huge financial advantage for students, whether or not they complete their full 2 years with us. Does that give you some?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's enlightening to hear the talk at the Board of Regents level that they're embracing this, and I'm also very glad that we have representation in that to work on it. So good job.
To second Dr. Ruga on Daniel Archer, a great many of these initiatives he's brought with him from other states that have already implemented these sorts of initiatives. So a lot of that innovation has been coming from him and from his direction. So hearing him speak and answer questions that are answered, this would be a great opportunity.
One of this question had, one other point that I did want to highlight, because I think it helps to even tell they're a little bit stronger than what I was saying. Page 48, of your package. So this chart highlights the number of hours cumulatively across the board there that are being transferred. The average credits that are being transferred from Garden City. And you can see how it corresponds to each of the institutions. Emporia and Pittsburgh are not listed for us because we did not have enough transfer students for the figure in but you can see from this, Garden City Community College ranks first in the state as far as the number of credits that are being taken by students from Garden City to each of the respective regions institutions. I think that part really needs to be touted and highlighted, the fact that our students are staying here longer, earning the credits before they transfer on. So, I think a lot of what we talked about there as far as affordability, access, really is drawn into this particular chart there about how many hours our students are transferred. And to the institutions.
One of the things I hear oftentimes from people who have sons or daughters that went here and then they transferred somewhere else is, oh, they didn't get all their credits transferred. And what I'm hearing from Mark and what they're all saying is trying to level that all out so that isn't a problem. Is that right?
That's correct. I mean, one of the things I'll talk about is report. One of the things we have to get better at the state, and that's going to be something that's been, it's not a short term, it's not going to be a short term solution. One of the things we have to get better at is reverse transfer. So what reverse transfer is once students have completed 15 hours from Garden City Community College, whether they go on to take 10 hours in Garden City and 4 days, once they hit that 60 hours and they've completed the requirements for our degree, because they've taken 15 hours, they can transfer those hours back to the associates. One of the things that Kansas does not do well is share information and share data. So a lot of our conversations we're talking about how it is that we can do more data sharing, how is it that we can look at any student that transfer from Garden City to any of the Regents institutions, any of the community colleges. Once they transfer into that college for 15 hours from Garden City, there needs to be an opt-out process that allows students to be able to automatically have those hours transferred back to Garden City so we can get them their credential degree. Right now, we have unrealized students out there that are earning degrees that are not having the hours sent back and not having the credits sent back to be able to award them that credential. So that is, I mean, it's a massive undertaking. It's getting 19 community colleges, 6 universities, and tech schools that all operate on different databases and systems to talk. But there is a lot of discussion momentum about how to get that moving forward to better help students across the system.
I know we'll see some movement on that this summer. Some other board of regents are also serious about that one. In response to Chair Hicks, your comment, I would say 2 things that I think are important for walk around knowledge for people to take out of the room when they're talking with students when things haven't transferred. One is I don't know that students know that they can come to us for advocacy also. I think oftentimes they get to that 4-year, the transfer process hasn't gone well. We can also take a look at it. And so they should reach out to people here in advising in my office to look through that. I serve on, and Dr. Ruta before me served on the Transfer and Articulation Council. And if things aren't transferring the way they should, and it's part of that core outcomes group, that 106 classes, there are things we can do. There are also some other things that we work on in terms of dual advising with the Fort Hays Transfer Connect program, where every student who's intended to go to Fort Hays, we want them to go to that transfer center, and we want them to, while they're enrolling in our classes, know how they will count to them. And that does become important because this is the second thing, is that there is also sometimes a misconception about what the first 2 years here at Garden City is. So if you get a 2-year degree in art, and you transfer into computer science, a lot of that won't count. And so it's not a 2-year free-for-all. And so that's what, some of the other parts of the room are very important. We look at student survey data. Do you know what is required of your degree? Do you visit with your advisor? All those sorts of things. There's some work on our strategic enrollment management plan to encourage more students into more dual advising agreements so that they know how what they're taking in fall of 2023. They know how that is going to count at Wichita State before they even finish the class with us. That's some serious work. I think you may, were there other comments?
Oh, I just have one other comment. We talk about the transferability from a community college to a university. Is there any worry or things not transferring from community college to community
Not as widely. Not as widely.
college? Why doesn't happen that much, right?
Yeah, we don't run into that as common as what we do at the university level.
Certainly our students are transferring from community colleges. They're more, the reason why behind that is they're just more likely, that bucket of 106 courses that transfers system-wide, they're more likely to, in their first 2 years somewhere, to be taking some of those. Community colleges also know how difficult it is to transfer, so we try not to create burdensome things that stand in the way of student pathways to success.
They may have some different names, as far as the name of the course, but our time on the course subscriptions and syllabus.
good meeting. The thing I think helps us in these meetings is that they divide us up. And then they give us topics that we have to discuss. And so you've got all these other community colleges with you trying to share the same problems, sharing the same responsibilities for making things easier and so forth. The data is, Heather does a great job giving the data to us and on how we handle delivery methods, and so forth. One of the things we discussed was a new statewide marketing campaign, which the legislature approved to target adult learners. And then there were discussion about how schools or community colleges could develop marketing strategies to meet these people. That was pretty much it. The next meeting will be August 25th and 26th at Todd County Community College. I will not be able to attend that meeting, so if somebody wants to talk to Ryan all the way there and all the way back, let him know that you're interested. Okay. Another thing that I had forgotten about, the ACCT Regional Awards Committees, I forgot I was on that. And it's a 2-year term, and this finishes my 2nd year term. There are 6 areas, and people, colleges respond on the different regions, and then we read their responses, and then we vote for them, and those awards will be presented at the fall ACCT conference. So I have a little reading, I had forgotten I was on that committee, they reminded me. Okay, any other questions?
I just have a comment in regards to finding adult learners and targeting our community. What do we do for that? What do you guys have thoughts about that?
I think we, just having conversations this morning, as I was already at center. We're at capacity in our courses. We're turning students away. I think a lot of what they try to do is really elevate. They changed where they're offering morning, evening courses, just to be able to accommodate. We offer adult ed classes at Eisen. They've started to reach out even to some neighboring counties just to look at how it is that we can maybe expand it or have adult ed courses there in outreach locations. A lot of it comes down to finding personnel to instruct them. So I don't know that we're necessarily in a position. We have the largest adult ed program in the state. I don't know that it's marketing necessarily being worked on there. It's finding personnel to be able to expand outside of our current locations in regards to.
How many advertising going that? All about advertising. There was a time I drove to Lake once a week. It was an outreach. I don't know why, but it's been several years ago. There is a need, I think, for some of those kinds of courses in these smaller outlying towns. And then the thought that putting out a questionnaire.
I mean, as far as advertising for faculty and
Yeah, would you like to have an accounting class, counting one or something?
yeah, there's several strategies we have in place there with the PR marketing department there that goes both online and those platforms. I think one of the things, and probably this addresses the whole head a little bit, so I say we're at capacity in our adult education. Adult basic education program. We're not at capacity with adult learners who return to come back and earn their social security. So That's really the intent of this statewide marketing initiative is how can we start to move the needle? You know, when you take a look at our demographics, our average age is 24. So now we start to move the needle on bringing back we old owners. And then trying to see where it is that they were at, we have credits, where they need in order to complete. And a lot of that's part of our sim there as well as utilizing sim to reach out and meet a lot of the old owners and our impact right now. So there are strategies in place for marketing and really being able to reach those populations.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just down to upcoming dates or no ownership.
One question I have on this, just one, so we got on July 12th, we have a 6 o'clock meeting. Is that's designated as a board retreat?
That's what we need to decide.
I know we also talked about July 18th as part of the board of trustees having retreat on that date as well. So I guess I just want to make sure to clarify what.
We need to clarify all of that. We've been running into some conflicts of people not being able to make certain dates to have a retreat. Those kind of things. We need to come to a consensus tonight. I think that what we are going to do on those dates is when we're going to have a retreat. When is it going to fit for everybody?
What if anything we need to prepare for?
Sorry.
What would we be preparing other items we need to prepare for?
Well, if we're going to have a budget. We could, August 1st. Okay. So obviously we need to prepare for that. There are some items that and Shanda's been doing some work on that. In a board retreat, along the lines of self-improvement. You want to make comment of some of the things that you've.
Yeah, I have a section on diversity, equity, inclusion, some examples I have from the colleges from the and a little bit more policy work and a chance for us to talk about mentoring any new trustees and succession planning. So that's why when we originally started this conversation, we talked about an evening to get updated on construction progress, some of the different fundraising activities you guys had going on and grants, and just kind of give us a little summarized update. That was intended to be a short evening deal. And we had discussed doing the other stuff I discussed on Saturday morning at some point. But if a Saturday isn't going to work in scheduling and we break it up to 2 small evenings talking about some of that other stuff, there is not a deadline on any of these things I would like to bring forward, but all good topics that can use some more discussion with or without the hiccups.
Been drinking.
Not that I know of.
So, I mean, I'm flexible on that. I think that July 12th evening meeting was intended for all the updates on projects. But if we're not in a position for that and that needs to come at a later time, I can, if we've still got it on the calendar, everybody can make it, I can present part of what I had on my to-do list, either way.
No, I mean, we talked through that date and we prepared that, so we make sure they work for all board members.
I am sorry that I'm moving on.
I'm out of town.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Summer's just hard, everybody. It just
Yeah,
is.
that's. Do we need to just table that for the next meeting and everybody sit down and look at the calendar and come up with dates that you think would work best for you. I would like this master facilities. Is that what date is that set for? July 4th,
Yeah,
it's
that was-
right above that.
So you want that as part of the July 18th board meeting?
That would probably work best
That's not
for
here,
everyone,
so it's not
wouldn't it?
No, okay. So much for that option. August,
What about, July 19th, Wednesday? Word retreat.
I'll be in this stuff.
Okay, never mind.
Well, it depends on what time it is. I could be back with 5. What is the Saturday morning after the 19th? 22nd? What about 9 to 12 on that day?
is that who available though?
And then-
Yeah, we'll need to check with Craig on his
For master?
availability for master facilities. But they work and want to do it, we can incorporate other aspects that we were also talking about.
Let's get that one scheduled on the books and done. Then we'll look at another date for the other, because like I said, we don't have a quick time frame turnaround. Let's focus on the,
We can visit with Craig and then we'll send out some options for us to look at. That'd be-
minus the ones that have already been shot down.
It just seems like summertime, getting a schedule that everybody can be at is almost impossible. So you're going to get with,
So I'm good with the 22nd, we'll include that in
I as well.
the suggestions. Yes.
I think I am.
Saturday.
I have one question. Where's Tryon Conference? Where's Tryon Conference?
That's the president's conference room right beside,
Yeah.
just a conference room where we're
President's
at, they have a meeting right starting in July.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. Saturday, July the 22nd at 9 o'clock, is that available for this board? Yes.
There,
We got to check with Craig. Board,
I'm sure you make yourself available.
he's not on vacation.
Yeah. One this year.
well, he's had to,
Postpone seven.
He had to change his vacation. So this is the second one.
So July 12th is going to become July 22nd, is that correct?
If it works,
If
great.
it's-
potentially,
If it works.
that's our next try. That's plan, I think is what we're on now.
Then August 1st budget retreat. Still good for everyone. Remind you all, Wednesday, this tomorrow, chamber breakfast. And then the 19th of July, chamber breakfast. 1st of August budget retreat is still good. 6 o'clock meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ken Scott endowment room, do we mean Ken Scott meeting room or the endowment room?
This is now, I can't stop down.
Okay. I was,
So it's no longer the.
in July, it's local deviation endowment room,
Deviation.
and I thought Ken Scott was the other room, meeting room.
But he got the meeting right.
He moved to-
down right at the last option.
August 15th, board of trustees meeting.
I'm gonna focus on the endowment room. And while we're talking about dates, Jody, when is the ACCT registration deadline? And if you don't have that now,
I
just
don't
if
have,
you wouldn't mind looking into it, so that way we
Yeah.
can start making
I want to say it's August.
Okay.
Something so you have.
I knew there was an early bird and a regular, so I
I think
didn't
it's
know if we
around
should.
the 15th, 16th of
Okay.
August, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we need to start working on that, just to get hotels and flights and all that kind of stuff. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, August 15th, Board of Trustees meeting, Kent Scott in Albert Room. 29 August, budget hearing, I conference room, 7:30. September 12th, Board of Trustees meeting, Kent Scott in Albert Room. Those are all good dates, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Joe, you will, let me put those out in a minute or email to all of us. Please,
We'll find out if Craig is
Yeah,
available, and I'll send it out.
check it out.
Okay.
Is there anything else to come before this board?
I just wanted to commend the faculty and the people who put on the two summer camps. Seemed like they had quite a bit of participation in it, and skills with that. The GPS and the cyber security.
So do you have anything else to bring up? Beth, do you have anything else to bring up? Bob, do you have anything else to bring up?
All right, so just looking at my calendar here. So September 12th is that? That's the second Tuesday of September.
We had to move September because of something else on,
Resolution.
yeah,
Okay,
I was gonna say something else on the calendar.
all right. I knew there was something.
But then October is 3rd, and then November and December are 2nd.
Dennis, do you have anything else to bring up?
Wondered when we have to pass that resolution on the taxes.
That'll have to be July, revenue neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, July.
Brandon, do you have any more? I think we're all ready for the. I declare this meeting.
August 4th is the early registration cutoff.
August 4th.
So maybe around next meeting, we can kind of get at least a general idea. I mean, it's not the end of the world, if somebody has to decide last minute, but what we know, we might as well save a couple dollars. Vegas, all right.
No, we don't.
Clark County. Go there next Friday, I mean, I know that place very well. I can show you where to go do indoor skydiving, I mean, top golf, Vegas. We've got quite a bit, so it sounds like we're getting close to, we're not like, we spend a full day at top golf every time we go. Yeah, that's.